What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. Do you believe that?
Buffs Nation, what is going on? Man, oh man, we got a lot going on today. It's looking like we got about 6 inches at least. Man, that might actually be closer to a foot of snow here in Colorado this weekend. Hey, but thank God, right? We had the Groundhog Day stuff go on yesterday. Spring, it's going to come a little bit earlier, which means we should be good to go for the spring game this year, right? We don't have to worry about any of that snow, those miserable conditions. We get the majority of our snow out here in February and March. Let's not have to worry about that come late April this year. You guys know what I'm saying? So, hey, hopefully you guys are having a great day. Please hit that like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got a handful of pieces of news information to talk about. And hey, first thing, at this point, Antonio Brown might be the new DC. At this point, it's anybody's guess. I got no idea. We'll see whenever that comes. I mean, no college football season or team has ever gone into the season without a DC, right? So we just gotta be patient, I guess. The news is it's eventually gonna come, right? Now, Cole Mathis, little brother of Kayla Mathis, looks like he's coming here as a walk-on as well. I have no idea what position he plays. I'm just gonna put that out there. I got no information about him. So if y'all know what position he plays, let me know. But this isn't why you guys are tuning in. You're tuning in because I want to play some speculation games right now with Chip Kelly. So let me cut the music and let's get right into it. You have seen, man, you guys crack me up. You guys have seen the news about Chip Kelly, right? I mean, if you're a Bruins fan and you're watching this, I mean, how are you feeling, man? You got to be feeling miserable, right? Jesse Simonton is reporting that Chip Kelly really wants out of this whole thing. Wow. And it's so bad, guys, that Chip Kelly has shown interest in NFL offensive coordinator jobs, and he even showed interest in Iowa's offensive coordinator job. Guys, imagine hating your job so much and being done with this head coaching stuff, the college football level, that you are asking, hey, can I go to Iowa? Man, that is bad. But if Kelly leaves as they're transitioning to the Big Ten this year, man, this is going to be disastrous. And that 30-day window opens up for players to transfer out and leave. And so before I get to some of your comments, I wanted to go through and highlight a few different names that, hey, if this does happen, I would love for CU to at least make that phone call, to at least reach out, say, hey, we need you here at the Buffs, because they got some guys, especially at our positions of need. Like we're talking about interior line, we're talking about linebacker, edge, offensive line, like all of that. That would be great to target. So let me get into it and show you, like, even this past year, I mean, things have just not been looking good for UCLA. I'm on the wrong tab here. Give me 1 second. I mean, look at this, guys. This is a team, a program that has done very well with Chip Kelly at the helm, and it seems like they've just started to lose momentum. Maybe Chip Kelly's getting a little burnout from this whole college football recruiting, the NIL. I mean, college football is a total grind, and for them to have the year that they had this year and to bring in right now the 58th overall class, that is terrible. That is awful. To put this in perspective, guys, like, we were recruiting better than this with Carl Durrell. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. And like they've brought in some high school guys, which, I mean, I don't really know too many guys, but that they brought in from the high school ranks. But particularly, they brought in an edge that I thought would be a massive addition for CU. I'm going to butcher his name, but Collins Achimempong, 6'7", edge that was at University of Miami this past year for his redshirt freshman year. So he's been in college for a year, transfers out to UCLA. Okay. Maybe he has the opportunity to, jump in the transfer portal if Chip Kelly leaves. He has so much eligibility left, and we need some more layers within this edge group, right? We got some guys that can play multiple years, like Samuel Okunlola, Keaton Wade. Of course, Aaron Walker still has some years left. Taj McCoy, but BJ Green's going to be one and done, I believe. And so a guy like Collins, Achimampong, I'm trying my best. Hey, at least he brings some solid potential from California, so it makes sense of why he would return to UCLA. But hey, 4-star rated guy, nationally ranked player. And again, kind of like Baby T.O., for instance, was a highly rated guy, but just didn't get on the field this past year. And so, his transfer rating drops down. Like for me, I don't really care about that. But I mean, I think this would be a type of athlete that we could use more of in the edge room. So he's somebody that's like, hey, let's go and reach out to him, seeing where he's at. Okay. Now let's take another look at Pro Football Focus. They got some guys here in the interior that I think we should target as well. I don't believe Gary Smith has declared for the NFL draft, if I am correct on that. But this is a guy, for instance, that has rated incredibly high in the run defense category. So he's somebody that, at 6'2", 315, you could put right next to Chidozie Nwankwo and have a really stellar starting interior defensive line. I would absolutely love that. We can take a look at some of his stats as well. 14 tackles with another 5 assisted tackles, 10 stops. That's really solid. And, he can get a little pressure, 9 total pressures as well. But overall, he's really going to excel in run defense more so than the pass rush. I would love for us to go after him. And he's a guy that can play more of that 4-3 defensive tackle position, but also play a little bit of nose. So that's, that's cool to see as well. Now, getting to Keanu Williams, he's another guy that should have a few more years of eligibility as well. 6'5", 310. Not as highly rated as somebody like Gary Smith III, but this is a guy that took, a ton of snaps, 248. That's great. He's getting meaningful snaps. He's playing a meaningful role in that UCLA defense, where honestly, a lot of those guys from this past year were poached by USC because they lost their defensive coordinator to USC. Wow. But another really solid grade in run defense, 73.9. He also had 10 stops and 5 pressures. So that's great. And yeah, you can line him up kind of anywhere over the defensive line, but we don't have a lot of guys that are, well over 300 pounds right now. We got somebody like Torian Carter and Quinn Barnes. They're saying Chidozie is over that 300-pound threshold now as well. And we'll see where Amari McNeil comes in for this year. But this is another guy that, man, I would absolutely love for us to target, bringing in interior defensive line talent, because just like my video that we looked at, maybe it was on Wednesday, the edge room, we've made a ton of progress there. And I like the type of athlete that we're bringing in at the interior, but outside of Chidozie, we don't really have anybody that has shown true production on the field yet. So handful more question marks there at the interior. There are a few other guys that I wanted to highlight here. Let me see if or maybe that was it. No, there were a couple other guys from the 2023 recruiting class that UCLA brought in, guys that didn't really get on the field much. One would be highly recruited linebacker from last year, Trey Edwards. This is a guy who has who should excel in stopping the run. So we got a guy like Jalen Wester who can, stop the run, playing pass coverage, right? We got Levante Bentley, but we would like to bring in some more competition there, right? Who knows where Trevor Woods is going to be at? Who knows if Demoy Kennedy can stay healthy? Still a lot of question marks in the linebacker group. Could Keaton Wade come inside and play a little bit inside, depending on what kind of package we're wanting to have defensively? But highly recruited, 4-star guy, touted as a run stopper, able to fire through gaps and stop the running back in the backfield, can bring heat to the quarterback as well, shows plus instincts and athleticism, physical backer, a sure tackler who will end plays on first contact, solid in pass coverage, and can move fluidly in space, a 3-down backer with his ability to make plays against the run and the pass. What's not to like there, right? Comparison, Corey Littleton, the Los Angeles Rams, projected as a Power 5 starter. And I think I might have had his grades up here really quickly if I can find those. Yeah, actually, I don't think he got on the field this past year. I'm not seeing him show up in Pro Football Focus. So that would mean he'd have another 4 years of eligibility taking a redshirt year this year. But yeah, I love to see that. And then there was one other guy that I thought would be pretty interesting if we could reach out to. Donovan Pillow was another guy who got time this year at UCLA, if I remember correctly. Only played 27 snaps this year, so make of that what you want. But we do need some more talent there in competition in the linebacker room. And why not? Why not just take a stab at some of their offensive linemen that they've brought in? UCLA's had a pretty solid offensive line over the last handful of years. And so overall, I think that this is something as Buffs fans we need to be monitoring. What's going to happen with UCLA? Who do they hire to replace Chip Kelly, right? Is it possible that Cliff Kingsbury has an eye on that job with Chip Kelly trying to get out of it? We'll just have to see. I think with a guy, if they were to hire somebody like Cliff Kingsbury, you might be more likely to keep a lot of your players. But right now, in terms of the momentum of the program, it's not looking good. When you're Chip Kelly and you're not recruiting, even to the level that Carl Durrell was here at CU, that is bad. That is very, very bad. So that's what I wanted to get to today.